Hello YouTube, Tim here. I wanted to show you how I make sure the limbs are straight when I flatten the bow. See, I just heated this, it's very soft. I straighten it up against that, screw it, make sure it's as straight as the board I'm using. And I'm careful, I set it straight down. I start pressing near the handle, and then I continue pressing further down the limb. That's pretty much it, as far as we go here. Now what I'll do is, I'll twist it a little bit to try and get it a little bit more straight. At least as regards to the propeller twist. I want as little of that as possible, although we're going to take all that out later when we do the handle for a typical bow. Right now, what I'm mainly concerned about is keeping this thing flat, so it'll rock side to side. You've got to make sure that you're bearing down on it flat. The other thing to do is just be careful that when you do each limb, you're doing it the same. And when you press down on it, you're pressing down as evenly as you can. Meaning you want to start at one spot and you don't want to push down at an angle as you start to get near the end. It'll make it twist. You saw how I use the board, to straighten it out before I put it on top. And you very carefully sit the board on top, then you rock it on. That's more or less what I do. This should come out pretty darn straight. If it doesn't, I'll show you how to correct it as soon as it's done. And that's even easier. If you don't make it perfectly straight the first time, don't worry about it. You'll be able to fix it. PVC is a very forgiving medium. Allows you a lot of opportunity to correct it and fix any problems that you develop. I don't know when the last time that I showed something like this was, so I thought not only is it good to give a little bit more in-depth of a demonstration, but even if I had done it, it's good to do a refresher. Okay, how are we doing? Looks good? Looks very good. Pretty sure if I took the board off now it would be fine, but I'm just going to leave it another 30 seconds or so. You take it off too soon, it's going to be too soft. Too soft, it starts to puff up. That's a pain in the butt, because now you've either got to reheat it to reflatten it, or, I don't know, it's just better to avoid that situation in the first place. So I'd rather you leave it under the board longer so that it's impossible to correct the twist or any curve, because you can always do that later. Alright, that should be good enough. Let's take this off, check. Yep, it's not too soft. Now we'll sight down it and check for straightness. Not perfect. Right here at the base there's a problem. So what I'll do is grab on both sides there, bending against my knee, like so. Then I check it again. Say, okay, that's much better. A little bit more, a little further out now. This isn't the best posture to be doing it in. My knee's all rounded right, so it wants to flip off of it. Pretty darn good. Let me give you an idea how that turned out. Here's the first limb that I did. That one just happened to be nearly perfect from the get-go. This limb, the second limb, is a little bent, but not enough to matter. That's really, really good. So now you can tell there's a little bit of misalignment here. You see, now that's straight, now that's straight. So I need to heat the handle and correct that, but there's very little to do. This bow is already nearly done and nearly perfect. When you do stuff right like this, it helps. Let's say if it were more intensely curved and you wanted to fix it, what I would do is use the heat gun, heat that area gently, focusing a little bit more intensely. Turn the heat down maybe to halfway. Focus a little bit more intensely on the side that's going to be stretching. So the inside of the curve, the concave side. Anyway, since that side's going to be straightening up. The other side's going to be compressing, you'll want to heat that side too, but I always focus on the side that's stretching a little bit more. Once you do that, you correct it in the exact same way, either bending it by hand or against an object like your knee. Sometimes what I've done, if it's just the last few inches that's curved, I'll heat it, and then I can bend it against the ground like so. That's really everything. If you do this, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to produce a perfectly straight PVC bow. If not the first time, then by correcting it. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that this gets you crafting. See you later, YouTube.